All right, so we're gonna be doing a full breakdown on all the trades that I took today. Well, how I viewed the market today. I actually wasn't able to get in any setups because they didn't give me the entry that I preferred, but they were still some really good setups and they played out really good. So like I always say, whenever you guys are getting ready to trade, especially indices, gold, SPX, US 30, NAS 100, trade them during New York session where they're the most volatile. Usually, you know, before I would say, I hop on the charts like around 7 and I don't trade after 11, but usually the moves happen between 7 to about 9:30, 10. That's like the London and New York overlap. That's when the pairs are the most volatile. So just keep that in mind. So when I first hopped on the charts, let's just clear all this off and I'll just break it down. So the first thing that I look for is always just like an area of interest. And when I look for stuff, I look for like where the market has a lot of wicks, because there's like a lot of liquidity sitting up there. So that's the first thing that I seen when I looked at this. So I seen this. This became my area of interest. And another thing that I do whenever I look at these is I go to the daily time frame and see like is there any candle highs or lows that could potentially be taken. So when I look at this area of interest on the 1 hour and I go to the daily and I see that it's the top of a previous candle, that lets me know that price could potentially be heading up. So if we're looking at this, we see yesterday it took out this previous day low. Okay, cool. So if it takes out a previous day low, typically it goes to the previous day high. So boom, it took that out too. But when I hopped on the charts, it was already past this. So I was like, all right, it could potentially keep going up and take out you know, the other previous day high. So I seen that. So I went back down to the hour time frame and I was like, all right, bet. Mind you, none of this happened yet. So my thought process was, all right, bet. We are expecting the market to go higher. So when I hopped on here right around maybe 7, let's go ahead and mark off 7 o'clock. This is where we were at. So the first thing I like to do is I like to mark out, where structure is. So boom, we're looking at this. Oh, I gotta turn that off. Hold up. All right, so I like to mark out where previous structure is, where the market was holding at, where previous resistance was. And so when I seen that, I was like, all right, bet I already want the market to go up. So I drop down to the 15-minute and I wait for the same move. I wait for an impulse that usually breaks structure, followed by a minimum of a 2 candle pullback. 1, 2. This one gave us 3. Now, what I want to look for here is I want to make sure that whenever this candle starts to push up, it doesn't break below previous structure. So if it would have broke below this area right here, it in my eyes would have been invalid. So as long as it stays above previous structure, this is basically just a break and retest. That's literally all this strategy is that I'm going to show you. It's literally just a break and retest, a good way to be able to catch these moves. So when you're on the 15-minute, after you get the breakout, boom, and you see it's around 7 a.m. So that's when the session starts, New York session starts. We want a minimum of a 2 candle pullback. So 1, 2, we got 3. How we know that the move is over with, we wait for that third, well, in this case, it's the 4th candle, but we wait to see that next candle be that buy candle. This lets us know that the market is ready to push up. So once we see this, we simply want to take our fibs from the low to the high, because we're going to buy. We're going to put it from the low of the wick to the top of the wick. So we're here. All right, and so when you're on the 15-minute, you want to be dropping down to the 5-minute. And so the reason why I wasn't able to catch this is because, as you guys see, it never retested. Don't want to do that. It never retested the 61.8. And also, I always like to get a 3-to-1 risk to reward. Now, when y'all watch the rest of the video, y'all gonna see how sometimes that's not always ideal and you miss out on some really bum trades. Some really, really, really good trades. So this one, I was watching the market. I thought this candle would be the one to pull back, but it didn't. But like I said, I always make all my trades a 3-to-1. That's just me. But this did end up playing out. However, we did not get a entry on this one. Did not get an entry on this one. So we can go to we'll do Nas last. So we can do US 30. This is one of the trades that it technically did give an entry, but I didn't get in it because it wasn't a 3-to-1 risk to reward. So we do the same process every single time. So we're gonna clear all this off. As y'all can see, I'll be trading US 30. All right, so this one was a little bit different. So when I first hopped on the charts, the first thing that I noticed is that it actually gave a reversal pattern. So if we're looking at this, we see automatically off the rip, if we've been trading a while, we see boom, boom, and then we see this big change of character. So we just mark out what we see. So we see that. Just gonna put a change of character right there. And then we see a little bit of divergence right here. So we're just gonna mark all that out, we see that. All right, cool. So that is already a telltale sign that, hey, price wants to go higher. Now, all this happened before 7. This happened during London session. So another thing that I'm looking at is, does any candles close below this level? So that's something else I want to pay attention to. So, coming around 7, let's go ahead and mark out the 7 o'clock. Well, we can keep it. All right, cool. So remember, we're not trading until 7. So when we hop on the charts and we see that price is coming down here, we already technically have our setup for the ICI, which is an impulse all one color and a retracement all one color. Now, for this on the hour time frame, it's still the same concept. You still want a minimum of 2 candle pullback. This one gave you 4. But what you want to be looking for to validate this is to make sure that no candles close below previous structure. And so whenever you're looking at candles to close below structure, this is a little bit more in depth. Pay attention to the body candlestick closes. I knew that this was still valid because nothing closed below the body of these candles right here, the lower the market. So if I were to put it at the wicks, that to me, the wicks, they're structured, but they're not really structured because the candlestick closes hold more weight. I knew that this was a change of character because the body candlestick closed above the previous candle closes. Okay, so whenever you're looking for changes of character, changes of structure, and I did mark out the wicks because it just looks better for real. But when you're looking for changes of characters and breaks of structure, pay attention to the body candlestick closes and how these candles close. So after I seen that price had came back here and around 7, price was pushing back up. So remember what I said. You want an impulse, all one color, a minimum of a 2 candle pullback. This one gave you 4. The 5th candle balled up. So what do we want to be doing after we see this? You want to be taking your fibs from the low to the high. And we're going at the top of this candle. I'm just putting it over here. Boom. And so here on the hour, whenever we get on the hour, then we want to be dropping down to the 15-minute time frame. All right. And so what do we see? We're just simply waiting on price to close above the 61.8 and retest the 61.8. So this is one of the trades that I ended up missing because I wanted a 3-to-1 risk to reward. Now, it retested perfectly and took off, as you guys see. So remember, your stop loss always goes below structure. Always, always, always. Your TP can go at the -27. Now, I will say this. Don't be greedy whenever you're trading these indices, you guys. You don't need, let's be honest, bro. You don't need 1,000 pips. That's 1,000 piece. You don't need that to be successful trading this market. I think this thing gave, if I would have took the regular entry, it gave like 800 pips. We're going to see in just a second. But I have my entry down here. Yeah. So I missed this trade. And when I was trading, I was telling my people like, hey, it closed above the 61.8. You can really get in right here. I'm just not, because I prefer certain risk to reward. That's just me. Now, you don't have to do that. And as you see, price took off. Boom. And so from entry, price went, retested perfectly. About 818 pips. Y'all, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. You guys, I'm telling you, it don't even take that much. It don't even take that much with the right lot size. That can definitely change somebody's life because we trade indices. And so how this works, so as you see, this did not hit TP. What I always recommend whenever you're trading indices and you have such a big TP like this, take partials at the zero. Take partials at the zero. So this is the previous high of the market. So this is the previous high that we marked out. Remember that whenever price closes above the 38%, you want to be moving your stop loss to break even. So this is already will be a risk-free trade. But when price gets all the way up here to the zero, take some money, man. We're not doing this for fun. We're not just trying to hold this move just to see if it's going to hit TP and we can squeeze out. No, if it gets all the way up here, take some bread off the table. Pay yourself. We are not in here trading for fun. We out here trading to change our lives and change our family's life and have money to invest. That's what we out here trading to do. Make this real. Take some money off the table just in case price does something like this. So boom, like let's say you're still holding this trade. You now went from being up 800 pips to like you would have taken that entry. So you're only up 200. That's still a lot. I ain't gonna lie. That's still a lot of money. Let's not downplay that. But you have more money on the table. I guarantee on a .01, this still almost a band. This about $800 that you was up. Take 400. Take half of that. Take 50% off when you get right here. I'm always gonna say that this stop losses at break even is risk free. You up that much? Take 50% off. Take 50% off and then leave a runner. Let the rest play out. I promise you it's not worth losing all that money. It will never be worth that. So let's talk about Nas. So you guys can see. So Nas, I had a kind of like a different approach to this. The same concept, just a different approach. I'm just going to remove everything and go over it from the start. Now, Nas to me is one of the best indices to trade because the structure in it is just so clean. As you guys can see, it had the same exact move as US 30, but you can see this structure a lot clearer. Like, look at how clean this is. Boom, boom, boom. Here go to change your character. Right here, same change your character on US 30, but you can just see it clearer. And so when we're looking at this, we want to do the same thing. We see we got a little divergence here. Boom. We like to see it. We love to see it. And me personally, I always mark out the low of the market just to make sure the price doesn't close below. You know, and I just kind of just like leave it there. All right. And so when we're looking at this, it's the exact same setup, you guys. We see an impulse, all one character, breaking previous structure, because this is just a break and retest strategy that just works really good. Minimum of a 2 candle pullback. So this one gave you 3. How do we know that it's ready to buy? Because we see that this fourth candle right here started buying up. Now, what are we making sure doesn't happen? We're making sure that this candle right here doesn't close below this area. It does not close below previous structure. So as you see, it was just literally like just a break, retest, continuation. That's what we're looking for. We're just catching a continuation. Now, how did I know that this market was going to reverse? I'm just looking at structure. Look at this. The downtrend was over, at least temporarily. Look at it. Boom, boom. Change of character. First pullback, continuation. That's all we're looking for, you guys. We're just looking to capitalize off this. So whenever we're looking for buy, from low to the high, because we know it's going to buy. This one did hit TP, but it didn't give us an entry. Remember, from the hour, when you're going from the hour, you want to go to the 15-minute. And so when I was trading this, I ain't gonna lie, I probably would have missed it anyway. Because why? Actually, no. I would have had this one because I have my stop loss right here below structure. So when I talk about structure, you know, you see this is a buy candle. I'm at a sell candle, then a buy candle. So it kind of created that structure low. So that's what I'm talking about when I talk about structure. TP all the way up here. And so what we're looking at, me personally, you know, I like 3 to 1. So I don't know. We'll just have to see. this probably wouldn't have been worth, those little 2-3 pips. But regardless, it didn't even enter us in the market. I thought this kind of was going to be the one to pull back and get us in the market. I did have a limit set on this, but it played out perfect, you guys. Like, perfect. Like, only thing about it, it didn't pull back far enough. But other than that, it gave us 500 pips. That's crazy, you guys. That's a lot of money. I'm telling you, you learn this strategy, you stick to it, you trade it how I'm telling you to trade it, you will make money in this market. You can start off with a $200 account, $300 account. Just use 0.01s until you understand it. I'm telling you, you gonna make some bread. You gonna make some bread. It's only gonna take you to hit 1 TP. This will be about $500. Or, yeah, it'll be about 500. I'm telling you, 500 off of a $200 account. You just flip the account. It's so easy to make money in this market once you simplify it. Like let's say you catch this US30 move. You just made $800 if you take profit at the high, at the most recent high. Or you take 400 off. That's still a lot of money. Same thing happened on SPX. You guys, this thing just... I can't make this up, you guys. All these pairs kind of correlate. Oh, let's go over gold. I don't think I went over gold. Did I go over gold? No, I did. Oh, yes, I did. Okay. But yeah, gold hit TP as well. This one came really close. I thought this was going to pull back. That's 280 pips right there, you guys. This stuff works. Lock in. Pay attention. I'm telling you, man. If you guys have any questions on anything that I went over, don't hesitate to hit the comments and ask me. I got y'all. I'm going to make well over 6 figures this year trading this strategy. I want you guys to do it with me. So, man, you guys be blessed by the